life and we know it. I'm standing out of fear. You are beautiful beyond description, too marvelous for words, too wonderful for comprehension, like nothing ever seen or heard. Who can grasp your infinite wisdom? Who fathom the depth of your love? You are beautiful beyond description, majesty enthroned above. Mari Makuta Limosande Bekaye, Rame Kunda said, I'm the God among you and I am strong. He said, I'm the God among you and I'm strong. Wonderful that he proceeds, and so he proceeds. See, God is ahead of time. He goes before us. We say it so much that it becomes a cliche, but God goes before us. He stands there before you got there. He gets there. And then we try to catch up. Try to introduce what I was going to speak about. This might be for next week then, because today God wanted to do what He wants to do. That you will understand why the service is like this, perhaps. This month has been tagged the month of intentional transformation. And we tag this whole month 4 days of transformation, dots. And today I wanted to speak on transformational worship. So, just to show you guys that I'm not kidding you, it's going to be on the screen. It's meant to be transformational worship. That's why I said God steps in. When you tell Him, when you start, you think, like I always say, that God initiates the thoughts. You were in between and walking the thought, and then He blesses the thought. So whilst I thought, I was thinking this, God had initiated this already before even today came. He's a God of purpose. He's a God of intention. God never did anything by mistake. God never stayed and said, I'm tired, let me just make man. No, everything God made, God decided to make it. Everything that God made, God intentionally made it. I keep wondering, why would God leave? Why would God tell Moses to go and tell Pharaoh to let the people go? And then God backtracked and hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Now what blew my mind was when God told me that July is the month of intentional transformation. I did not know exactly this month last year what He told us. I didn't look at it. I did not think about it. But watch what He told us last year. The same month. July 2018 was the month of intentional. The same color of background we used in creating the theme for the month for last year is the same for this year. Not planned. I didn't even look at it. And God said this month is not just intentional, but it's transformational intention. intentional transformation rather. And today I was going to start speaking about transformational worship, to teach us what worship was. That God says, son, you got to be kidding me. When you talk worship, you're calling me. So once you mention worship, and I jump in even before you begin. You stir me up. Once you mention the name worship, you say, what? What? Worship? Say, son, I'm there. You don't need to call me. You don't need to invite me. Put the music on, boy. I'm showing up. See, when God shows up, he doesn't just show up just to stand around and look around. You know, while we were worshiping, he started saying to me, he said, I, the God in the midst of you. He said, I am strong. Hallelujah. You will get it when things start happening in your life. He said, I, the God in the midst of you. See, God shows up himself in different ways at different times. He comes as the God of battle, he comes as the God of provider, he comes as the God of peace. But when he says, I, the God in the midst of you, he said, I am strong. Then you better watch out. You better watch out. Woo! Hey! I don't know if to dance or to roll or to run or to, I don't know, but there's something in this place. There's something moving on the inside of me that I cannot explain. There is something about this God. Hallelujah. You see, while I was preparing, this song came to mind. Victoria and I and Matthew love this song so well. And I wanted to put it up there. I know we won't be able to sing it, but I wanted to read the first verse. The God of creation, there at the start of begin, before the beginning of time, with no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of life. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born in a vapor of your breath. The planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I can see your heart in everything you've made. Every morning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I. You better sit down. I'm not going further. The reason why I put this song is, most times we sing songs, I don't think about them. This is an epitome of creative intelligence. I just want to hold the words. I just they mean so much. He said, God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. You don't just say words because you want to sing them. For once you have spoken, all nature and science follow the sound of your voice. Let's leave that alone. Transformational because I am telling you that I'm stepping into your situation, is that I have jumped into your soul. will show myself strong. I will show myself strong. My text was gonna be, I will say the text and we'll close. My text was gonna be John chapter 4 from verse 22 to 24. And Jesus was having a conversation with a woman at the well. Oh my God. You know the Bible verse, and it said, he started telling the woman after the preceding verses that highlights the conversation, and he said, you worship, you know not words. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
And he rested his case. And as you speak, it is just too much. I let it go, and next week we'll be able to dissect it a little bit, but let me see if I can touch some things on it and just lay the foundation so we can go home with something from the word. Transformational worship. But the time is coming, indeed, it is here now, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is looking for those who will worship him that way. As believers, we're called to worship God in spirit and in truth. Firstly, it is important to highlight that many of the songs in churches we sing today are not founded in truth. They are emotional songs. There's no truth in it. This little light of mine, there's no truth in it. My light is not little. He said, I am the light of the world. He did not say I'm a small light. I am the light of the world. He said, you don't light a candle and put it under a bushel. That's my candlelight. I'm not a candle. I'm that kind of light. It's when, you know, the kind of light that when we're doing one of the period, we're doing a live broadcast, the first period when we started, and there was not enough light. So I put the halogen bulb, 2 halogen bulbs in my living room. It lit in the room was bright. The Victorian, after a few minutes, the heat of the light confused the technology that the iPhone refused to work because the heat of the light was too strong. Everything froze, even though the place was bright. People gotta be careful, Matthew, because even though you are light, the light that emanates, the brightness that comes out of you can mess up anything that tries to contain you. People are meant to enjoy of your brightness, not to contain you. This may not be for everybody. Let me not even go there. Because this was going to shift me in a different direction. This is a word a leader I greatly respect said. They said, I've even gotten my teams to tweak lyrics of popular songs and then explain to the congregation why. So you've always noticed that I always emphasize on the fact that we should lay our focus on the words of the song that we sing. It is very important. Always focus on when it is time for you to begin to say the things from your heart. It's one of the sweetest moments. It's one of the best moments, because then you will sing who God is to you. You expressing God, because then you don't care what language you're speaking. You don't care if it's French or Spanish or German. You don't care if it is Mandarin. You don't care if it's Urdu. Whatever language you're speaking, you don't care at that moment, because the words that can describe God for you is what you engage. Because many times English words are so limited, Matthew, that you can't use proper English words to ascribe to God who He is to you. That's why most times you can't say anything, you begin to cry. You begin to stutter. You just roll on the floor. Tears from your eyes. Sometimes you just walk back and forth aimlessly, because you're trying to put words together to bring to God, who understands everything anyway. Because a lot of us most times think that except we speak English, God would not understand. So let me come back to English language and tell him that because God has not come through Yoruba class to understand Yoruba. He said that God is the creator of everything. God of creation. My God. I started thinking about worship, and it occurred to me that a lot of times, or many believers do not really understand what worship is. Because if you read that Bible verse, there are two major things that Jesus pointed out. One, who do you worship? And how do you worship? It is very important. And it is in my mind that you cannot worship a one that you don't have a relationship with.
That's right.
You cannot worship someone that you don't know. That is why even our queen, before you appear before our queen for any honorary meeting or whatever, they educate you on how to approach the queen. Because even the Queen Elizabeth that we have in the United Kingdom, you cannot just walk into our throne, Matthew, and just shake her hand and say, hey, Queen, how you doing, Queen? You're right, Queen. You know, what's up? You're cool, Queen. How are you? You cannot just go and do that. There are protocols on how you approach her. So even though you've not had a personal relationship with her, they take you to a series of class, even if it's an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is, because that class engage you in a further that it replaces the fact that you've not had a relationship with her. That is our queen. Which kind of suggests to me now that there are people that come to church who get to go through that class. They go through that 1 day, 1 week, quick class to get all the necessary church words and try to sing it to our God. But they don't have the relationship with him. See, that is why Madonna can sing the God of creation all she wants to sing. And as wonderful her voice may sound, it may mean nothing. So it is not necessarily how beautiful you sound. It is not necessarily how wonderful, melodious you sound. Otherwise, you know we would have been the best of worshipers on earth. But that's not what it is. I was said, make a joyful noise to the Lord. I'll stop here now, but I want us to think and ask ourselves the question as we go home. Next Sunday I'll continue this. Do you know who you worship? Do you have a relationship with Him? Do you understand Him as your Father? Who is God to you? Jesus taught them to pray, said, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come. Oh, that is worship. Do you know Him? Look, if you don't know Him, even as our heads are bowed now, it is an opportunity for you to reconcile with Him. For me to worship Him, I've got to know Him. It is not just words, it's not just a set of words. My worship comes out of me. It is not just for my mouth. This is my worship. Here is my worship. I want to know you, God. I want to know you. I want to get to worship you for who you are. Not the God that is said about. Not the God that I read about. But I want to know you. Reveal yourself to me. Show up. I want to know you, God. I want to know you, God. I know you know me, but I want to know you. I want to be able to worship you, Lord. I want to express myself to you. I want to be naked but not ashamed. I want to stand before majesty and bow before you and ascribe all glory to you and understand what it means. I don't just want to be emotional. I want to be thoughtful in my worship of you. Father, we bless you, God, even as we close our service and go to the next phase. We just bless you. We pray that you breathe on this great word, this foundation that we set, and rain on us as you please. Bless the hearers of this word, those in this house and those online, that this would not just be words that excite and incite them, that word that will bring them to truth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hallelujah.